My name is Delaine and welcome to my video series. I'm hoping to provide short educational videos for photographers of all experience levels. So when I was starting out, I loved watching videos about how-tos, business advice, photography advice, and I still love watching videos. So this is something that I hope will be continual, it'll be educational for you, and you'll really enjoy it. So what we're going to start talking about today is a really simple tip for weddings, and it's not what you might think. It's just be kind at weddings. That's something that's so often in the stress and the busyness of the day. We have shot lists on our mind, we're organizing timelines, we're trying to be creative and think of pose ideas. Sometimes being kind can fall to the wayside just in the sense of we forget to smile or we forget to talk kindly to everyone. And that's something that's so important. I would put it right under the importance of bringing your camera to the wedding. And so how do we do that? So when you show up to the wedding in the morning, you're introducing yourself to everybody in that room. You're saying, "Hi, I'm Jamie, I'm the photographer today, how are you?" And you're learning their names as best as you can between all the bridesmaids and the parents of the bride, even the vendors you meet on the wedding morning. Next thing you're gonna do is smile. You're smiling all the time. Welcome to your new life as a wedding photographer. You are always smiling on the weekends, and really it makes an impact. Even moments where, say you're in the corner of the reception room and you're just listening to the speech because it's gone on a little too long, you've got the photos you need already. If somebody looks your way, you need to be smiling, that you're enjoying the day, because we are, but sometimes we forget to show it on our faces. So instead of just having a relaxed face when you're listening to speeches, make sure you have a smile on, something that a guest who has no other interaction with you the whole day can look at you and say, "Wow, that photographer looks like she's having a really good time." And that's the impression we want to give to people, absolutely. Another thing would just be aware of how you're interacting with the family members on the wedding day. The bride and groom, they know you, they trust you, they chose your style for a reason, but often the families aren't involved in that decision. So they might not understand that you don't take table shots or you don't take overly posed photos. So instead of just outright saying no and potentially embarrassing that person, "No, I don't take those kind of shots," you do take those kind of shots today. It doesn't mean you need to blog them. It doesn't mean they need to go in your portfolio. But you take them, because saying no is going to leave a negative taste in their mouth, and that's the last thing that we want. So we want to be able to provide a positive experience for all of our clients. So what does that look like? Sometimes that means we have family photos totally set up. I've arranged it with the bride and groom. We have a list, and then I have the mama bride that says, "Can we just take one photo over here and let's get the cousins and let's get the aunts and uncles?" I might say, "Absolutely we can." Now, do you know we also have family photos set aside, and I believe the bride has that on the list a half hour from now. She might at that point go, "Oh yeah, I didn't know. Okay, absolutely good." And if she does say, "Yeah, I know, but I really want it here," you just say, "Yeah, absolutely." You might check with the bride quickly and just say, "Your mom wants a quick photo, is that all right?" So you're making sure that the bride's happy. And we're never saying no to family members. It's just something that's really, really important to me in my business. And I find a few times when I've done this, often the bride will be like, "No, Mom, we're taking these later. Like, we don't need them." And then it becomes a mom and her daughter problem and not mine. I don't want to be stuck in the middle of it. I always want to have just a really positive experience with everybody. One more thing I've heard at weddings is, say you have a family member who has a camera and they're kind of right over your shoulder the whole time as you're shooting. Now, how do we handle this situation and this experience? So really what I tend to do is I just work around them. I prefer to be kind rather than rude. Of course, if it's in the ceremony, I have before asked somebody in the middle of the aisle, just say, "In respect for the bride and groom, would you mind sitting down so I can capture the shots I need without you being in them?" And I've never had anybody look at me and say, "No, I can't." They're always usually apologetic. They just don't think about it. Now, if I have somebody following me for portraits, once again, I don't know, maybe I'm just lenient. I just want everybody to have a good experience with me. So I just say, "You know what, that's fine." If they're physically in my way, of course I'll tell them. But I just want people are loving their wedding day too. That's their niece, that's their nephew. And they want to take photos too. And I'm not going to take that experience away from anybody, only if it gets in the way of capturing moments like the ceremony, first dance, those kind of things. Everything else, what I am is a journalistic photographer. We're wedding photographers, so we have to work around those people just like we'd work around poor lighting conditions or anything else. So I hope these tips helped you. I hope that you feel empowered to be more kind and remember to smile and treat everybody with the same amount of importance and respect at your next wedding, and I'm sure it'll benefit you a lot.